Hey you guys, it's Shannon again. Yesterday I kind of talked to you about reading comprehension when it deals with more of elementary students, or kiddos. I always say students because I am a teacher, so sorry. But kiddos. So it kind of related more towards the elementary side. What about middle school and high school kids and reading comprehension? Because if they struggled when they were younger and didn't have that help, then they're going to struggle as they get older as well. Or not just struggling with reading comprehension, but also just engaged into the stories, right? So my idea that I have done previously with a middle school student, and actually bridged two students together in creating a book club. So it's not just having it with students, but also you can do it inside your own home. And you can make sure that they're actually reading it and be more engaging and have a relationship with them, right? So it brings closeness to the family. It brings relationships, especially if you have other children and your middle school children or high school kids, kind of feel like, oh, well, I need to be a little bit away from this or whatever. But it kind of just gives that relationship again, and then also gets them into reading. And I mean, what else can you say? Even as an adult, when I was in a book club, it brought us closeness. We went on trips. We talked about our books. We related to our books. We critiqued the books, and it was just so much fun. So why not do that in your own home, right? I have done it with my son, and again, I have done it with two other middle schoolers, and it was so much fun, and they were so ready to actually talk about the next chapter, especially if it's a really, really good book, right? So, just a couple tips about a book club. It doesn't have to be extensive. It doesn't have to be like a writing journal. It doesn't have to be anything that's big. It can just be just reading and having that particular discussion. Okay, so with the tips on having a book club, again, you just want to have the discussion, okay? And I understand that families get so busy. Teens want to go, to the mall, to the movies. They really don't want to do extra stuff. But if you just take 30 to 45 minutes out of the day, and you don't even have to do it every day. You can just have it designated to certain times of the day or certain times of the week, or however you want to do it and that is feasible to you. So basically I would say, turn off the TV, turn off any type of electronics or whatever distractions and stuff, and read for 30 minutes. You, as the parent, and then of course your teenager or middle schooler, you can do this with elementary as well. It's up to you. You just take 30 minutes of reading. And then you can have stopping points and say, hey, we're just going to read chapter 1 and 2 today, or we're going to read to this particular page today. Once you get to that reading, we're going to have 15 minutes of discussion and just talk about what we read. How did it make you feel? Do you relate to this particular part in the story? Have you ever felt? And it opens a wide variety of discussion and communication, okay? You may not want to try to force communication and stuff, because a lot of times as teens, they rebelled against it, but just having simpler things, or even putting yourself first in the discussion and say, hey, I felt that the character was really crazy because of this, that, and the other, and it engages them to say, yeah, I feel the same way, or no, I do not. Okay, again, this is just to engage them into reading and wanting to read, right? All right, so now I'm going to talk to you about a couple of books that I have come across that was really, really interesting. Okay, and I'm going to kind of start with a book that I've used in book club, that I've read in college first, and then I actually used it in our book club. So it's The Breadwinner, and it even has a movie to it, which can be really intense, but hey. This is The Breadwinner by Deborah Ellis, and again, I'm sorry if the words are backwards. But hey, basically it's geared towards a child that was in Afghanistan. And I'm kind of reading the back a little bit just to give myself some time to think about it because I read a lot of books. So basically, it's just her family and how everything came in her, basically in her family. The reason why I chose this book is because the kids that I was actually tutoring, their parents, since it was two parents were actually deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I wanted them to give, even though we see one side of the country, I wanted to give them a view on what maybe the other side may be going through or what they think about and everything, and how we can actually relate to them. So basically it's about a girl, and she turned herself into a boy just to help her family with money and stuff. So it was really, really good book, and it was really engaging, and my kids loved it because it was something that they can kind of relate to with their parents being over there, and then also just understanding, sometimes we have to make sacrifices and want to help our family the best way that we can, right? Okay, the other book that I come across that I think that are really, really good, and again, they're maybe engaging. I haven't really particularly read these stories, but they sound really, really good, and I'm interested in investing in them. All right, this one was called Half a World Away. And basically it's about a child who is adopted, and their parents are traveling to adopt another child, and it kind of gives the perspective of what the other child is feeling. So the older child is like, okay, I know I can cause trouble, I'm this, that, and the other. Why are you getting another another child? Why are you adopting another child? And it kind of shows more feelings into it and stuff, and it's really, seems really good to talk about, especially if you have adopted kids, or if they know kids that are adopted, or just kind of feel pushed to the side, why you need to have another human in the house. Just saying. Or just to have fun, just to read it, right? Another story that I thought that was really funny and kind of weird at the same time, I don't know, I'm really interested in actually reading this story. It's called The 14th Goldfish. And it's basically about a child or a teenager or a preteen who is going into middle school, and they're having all these issues. Just regular middle school that we go through, and just, missing everybody, missing the youngness, and you're getting older and stuff, and how to cope with it. And it's basically grandpa decides to have this serum or something, and it turns grandpa into a young boy. It turns him into a young boy, and I guess he is trying to help the main character survive middle school. So, and I just kind of want to know, it has a lot of futuristic things to it, but I just kind of want to figure out, does he reveal himself as her grandpa? Does she figure it out? Does he even help? Does he make it worse? I mean, I feel like it's really, really funny, but also has science into it as well, with the transformation and making a scientific serum. I mean, hey, but I think it's really good just to have those connections, and also, again, making that discussion in a book club of just the questions I asked. What's going to happen? Does he really do this? And just having that thinking before even reading it. So hopefully these books and tips help with engaging your middle schooler, high schooler, older child, young child, just engaging reading. If you like this video, again, share. I'm so excited to see all the likes and shares. If you feel that there's maybe another book that we can use in a book club, please comment under this video. I mean, please don't tell my husband, but I have books all over the place. I love reading, and I love books, and I love just exploring different things and stuff. So comment below if there's another book that you think that it would be really interesting to share. Like our page, share our page. Remember, education is so important. Love you guys, and I can't wait to see you or hear from you. Bye.